Alright guys, today is May the 21st. I just woke up, it's 11:30 a.m. I also just checked my screen time yesterday to be 7.5 hours. And I'm not happy, man. Like, I've woke up too late, my screen time's too high, and it's been like this, for the past week, if not more. I'm going on holiday today, actually, to France, and I'm going to try 5 days, no social media, no gaming, none of that stuff. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it genuinely felt hard eating this meal without scrolling TikTok the whole time. Okay guys, it's only been like 2 hours. I think I underestimated how hard this was gonna be. I didn't realise how many times you kind of reach for your phone during literally anything, like even just having a shit. But I've got about 10 hours of car journey now. How many hours do we have?
4 hour ferry.
4 hour ferry, 2 hour drive. How many hours after?
Another 2.
No, I'm not gonna lie, this 4 hour ferry wasn't too bad. I mean, I had some food, my family was there, it was sunny, sat outside, listened to some music, it was a nice day. So it wasn't too bad, I had stuff to do, I guess. But someone did bring out the Sour Patch Kids, so that was my kind of dopamine hit instead of scrolling, which was a kind of cheeky little coping mechanism there. Not too good. Right, here is the face of someone who woke up from the worst sleep they've had in a while, because I actually had to go to bed at a normal time as I was with my family, so no 4 a.m. bedtime here, but I was just rolling around for hours basically trying to get to sleep. Alright guys, we are here now in France. I haven't even really been on my phone all day, and I think my screen time is probably like an hour. Honestly, feeling perfectly fine at the moment. Actually kind of enjoying it, the weather's beautiful here. So, just gonna go to the pool now, probably just read some of my book, listen to some music. That's really all I kind of have to do. So yeah.
Living on the riverside, taking it all in my stride. Living on the riverside, I'm taking life like a big long ride. You stay on your side and I'll stay on mine.
So I'm sure you can all relate to those moments where you just want to sit down and really just do nothing but just like lie on your phone and be lazy. Obviously being on holiday does make that part of the challenge a bit easier, but I realised I still kind of had nothing to do on my phone, so I don't know, I just kind of chilled. I mean, I had a lot of naps as well, which was definitely some way of getting around that part. Okay guys, it's 7:15 on day 1, so we're nearing the end, and honestly it's been pretty chill. I don't know why, but I expected it to be worse. It's been a sunny day, so maybe being on holiday helps, and I think that's one thing I've noticed, right? If you don't have anything to do, and you don't have social media, of course, then you start scrolling. But as soon as you have stuff to do, you kind of forget the need to use it. It's just here and there, I'm still having those moments of like picking up my phone and then being like, oh, I can't do anything on this. But it's almost like made me realise how much free time I do have, which just sounds cliche, but be intrigued to see how well I do in terms of productivity. Today I did a bit of reading, and I'll see how well I do with editing this video, because normally I can't focus for more than like 30 minutes at a time. That's one of my bigger issues, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, today's day 3. I just woke up, did actually get a bit of productivity, but I'm still finding that I kind of try and fill up my free time with anything not productivity that is still not social media, even if that means like fiddling with some bit of paper or something. But I have noticed, like, I don't know, everything kind of slows down a bit, you know what I mean? Like, you're not always constantly jolting your attention between different things, and there's not always this constant like kind of observing everyone else's life from like afar, and then you can't kind of compare yourself less, and you can kind of just be there without that kind of background like anxiety or like, oh, what am I going to be in the future, you know, will I be this, like this person, is this person better than me? There's none of that. You're almost just, I'm just doing what I'm doing at the moment, and like you're kind of just focused on what you're doing in the present. So I feel like as well then you're more, I guess, focused with what you're actually doing at the time, like the task at hand is done properly, and I guess this probably will help me a bit for work, as long as I can get myself to actually do the work that I'm trying to do. Now, going off the back of my current observations, I kind of realised that I do need stuff to fill up my days, otherwise I will just get insanely bored. So I don't know, I just spent day 3 kind of just doing whatever random activities I could really find to kind of keep my mind busy. Oh, and I also picked up on an old skill of making knives with knives out of wood. You'll see what I mean in a sec, but that was nice to get back into a little bit. But yeah, my day 3 plan worked pretty well. I wasn't too bored, and I even got an early night because, well, I didn't really have anything else to stay up for, so that was nice. Day 4 was kind of similar to day 3. I just spent most of my day just doing whatever random side quest I could really do. And a weird little observation I made was how like deep I could actually get into thought while sitting on the toilet like some philosopher, because I had no phone to distract myself there. I also tried to do a little workout, but didn't go too well. The equipment there wasn't obviously great, so it was, you know, a playground. I think I stopped after these push-ups, to be honest. But another thing I started to notice is I definitely picked up on a lot of the small details more, and started to enjoy just the small little things that I would never normally enjoy. I don't think I've been on a swing in ages, but honestly it felt pretty fun. But I think something about being more present in the moment and actually being able to enjoy things to the full extent without any distraction definitely made me more appreciative for what I kind of had and what was in front of me. Now, day 5 was probably one of the most chill days. It was really hot, so I got kind of bad sleep the night before. So I spent most of my day just like napping by the pool or in the sun in a chair. I did a bit more like wood making, so I made this little fork. But yeah, time just really just moved slow today, which was kind of a good thing in a way. It just felt like, you know, even my like resting heart rate felt like it just lowered, and I really just felt so low stress compared to the constant kind of switching between apps, the notifications. This was just such a kind of nice contrast from that it just did make me feel so calm. Alright, today is day 5. It is 7:46 AM, so it may be safe to say this has helped a bit with my sleep, but that's because I was also sleeping in a tent. But this morning I kind of woke up to the thought that like a spider was crawling on me, which sounds kind of weird, but like in a situation like that, right, where you wake up in the morning just over something accidental, I would oftentimes just then like, because I did reach for my phone straight after that, and I would oftentimes just end up scrolling and just trying to checking up on my phone, which would then lead to, you know, get to 8 and then 9 AM and I'd still be just like scrolling on my phone, kind of falling in and out of sleep, and eventually my alarm would go off and I'd be like, oh, I gotta wake up now, and then I would have missed out on, you know, that quality extra sleep, and I would have just been like, my brain would be fried like straight away. So I did reach for my phone this morning, only to realise I couldn't do anything, and then I just said, well, if I'm that awake that I did that, I'll probably just wake up. I think the one thing I've learned by day 5 is that you don't just use social media for hours and hours and scroll for hours. If you're truly like content with your life and you feel like this is good, you know, I'm doing what I should be doing, you do it because you're being avoidant. and you're avoiding what you really, don't want to face, what you really don't want to do, or what you really don't want to admit even. Because if you can avoid time with yourself, time doing the things that you know you need to do, time to even just think, then your brain has no chance to sort of start attacking you and telling you you're not doing good enough, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. So then you scroll more to avoid that, which only worsens the feeling and creates this kind of loop. And that's how you get into these cycles where you do nothing all day and just scroll for hours, and you somehow can't stop yourself. Because every time you do it, it makes you feel worse about yourself, which makes you do it more. And I guess the only way to really stop is to add more stuff to your day, not to stop scrolling, because I guess the scrolling in a way, at least for me, is kind of a symptom of the problem, which is not having enough to do with your life, really. So I guess the thing I can take forward from this is try and plan more stuff. I'm going to probably try and see my friends more. I'm probably going to try and, do more exciting new things. If you don't get ahead on those things, scrolling will just replace that time. And so going forward, I think doing more things that you want to do to fill up that time instead of just endless social media is a much better approach. Okay guys, it's day 6, and as much as I'd love to say I still quit social media, I basically can't, because it is kind of my job to post TikToks and Instagrams and whatnot to actually get clients for my fitness coaching business. So as much as I wish I could carry on with this, in some sense I can't do that unless I want to make no money. But I have found a way. So this isn't sponsored or anything, but I have found an app that called OneSec, if you want to download it, that allows me to kind of block out the time. So in the mornings from 9 till 12 I want to do no social media, because I just want to work. I always like to work in the mornings, so I can block out all the apps on my phone that I would click on, like Snapchat, Insta, whatever, in that morning section, and then from there I'm free to do what I want. So if I wanted to make a post, I'm recording on my camera right now, I could easily record a video like this and then upload it later. So I think the thing I've noticed as well, this is the kind of final conclusion, is you need to have stuff scheduled right. Because this morning I figured, right, I'm going to do some work from now, it's 10 till around 11ish. I'm also going to have some breakfast, and then I'm going to take a call at 12. Then I'm going to sunbathe for a little bit, and I'm going to have some lunch, and then I'm going to go to the gym. And you see what I mean, I'm going to do things kind of in order, one after the other, so there's no weird gaps where I've got like an hour where I'm doing nothing, because I know in that hour that's when I'll be just doing nothing on my phone to basically fill that time. So you kind of need to fill that time with stuff like intentionally, so that you don't fill that time with stuff kind of mindlessly. Do you get what I mean? So that is my final conclusion. I've liked this challenge, it's taught me a lot.